How many people here understand the term empathy? Who would like to give me a little definition quickly of what empathy is? There are no wrong answers. Push out of your comfort zone. Yes, there's a young lady back there. Go ahead. You're going to have to speak up.
The ability to understand and share feelings of another.
The ability, very well put, the ability to share and understand the feelings of another. The ability to adopt another's point of view as if it were happening to you. Well, usually when someone tells us a horrible story, we will engage in what is called automatic empathy. Automatic empathy is a brain response, and a number of reactions, chemical, neurological, happen in the human brain. An area of the human brain called the visual cortex is stimulated. Neurons fire from it. They go through your limbic system. They end up in your higher cerebral cortex. And you get to respond to whatever is told you in a very automatic way. So if someone tells you a horrible story, you might say to them, "Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my goodness, don't tell me anymore. Oh, I'm getting a visual on that. I can't listen to it anymore." You're really able to allow your brain to sort of ventilate, do its natural course of neurological loop so that your body reaches a level of homeostasis. So a chemical reaction begins with the activation of your visual cortex, and then your brain will calm itself down. The best example I can give is if you picture a top set spinning. You hear the story, the top starts to spin, it spins very quickly, and automatically your brain will help you to release the tension and come back to a state of homeostasis or balance where the top just kind of stops on its own. But in our profession, we're not able to say that. We have to control our empathic response. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've sat in session with clients and they're telling me some horrible thing that's happened to them. And on the inside, I'm thinking, oh, but on the outside, I have to remain very calm, cool, and collected. Well, I may look that way overtly, but the activity that's going on in my brain is anything but calm, cool, and collected. So if you would imagine in controlled empathy, you set that top spinning, and then you have to slam down on it and interrupt its revolutions before it's had a chance to slow down on its own. And when you do that, you are putting a strain on your brain, because when that top starts to spin, many levels of chemicals spill from your brain into your bloodstream and travel to virtually every cell in your body. So your whole body is impacted by whatever it is you're hearing when you have to control your empathic response. So anything that is traumatizing affects our brain, and our brain is biologically built to handle stress. The issue is that when you are in the middle of a stress response, your brain begins to ratchet up chemically to handle the stressful experience. So when you are in an empathic response, you are listening to the story as if it were happening to you. Your brain now is ratcheting up to put yourself in a place where you can handle the trauma content. So I want you to take a second, and I want you to kind of, not necessarily close your eyes, but really focus. Because I'm going to take my little wretched piece of paper here that's been around the country too many times, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what goes on inside of your brain when you are hearing trauma content material and you have to control your empathic response. The first thing that happens when you hear an awful story is that your sympathetic nervous system is triggered. Norepinephrine is then released by your nerves, and epinephrine is secreted by your adrenal glands. Once this happens, the receptors in your blood vessels are activated, and these substances, such as epinephrine and adrenaline, begin to ready the heart and the working muscles for action. that fight or flight basic animal reaction that we share with the animal kingdom at large. Acetylcholine is released in your parasympathetic nervous system to try to produce calming effects on your body. The digestive tract becomes stimulated to quickly digest a meal, so the blood could then divert to your extremities so you could take some form of action. Your neuroendocrine system is trying to maintain your body's normal function, even though these fight, flight, or freeze chemicals begin coursing through your bloodstream. Corticotrophin-releasing hormone is released by your hypothalamus, a collection of cells at the base of your brain that acts as the control center for your whole neuroendocrine system. This travels to your pituitary gland, where it triggers the release of adrenocorticotropic hormone, which travels into your blood back to your adrenal gland and stimulates the release of cortisol. That is the chemical that is the byproduct of all the chemical change in your body when you hear a stressful or a trauma content story while you're having to control your empathic response. Chronic triggering of cortisol leads to impaired memory, a suppressed immune system, energy stored as fat, weakened muscles, high blood pressure, hardening of the arteries, inflammation, arthritis, aging of your brain, colitis, loss of libido, adult onset diabetes, and cancer. So if you weren't feeling traumatized before we started, maybe you're feeling a little traumatized right now, but we're not here to alarm you or scare you. We want you to understand the biophysical price you pay as a result of how you will work in the years to come. And we want you to be ready for that, because prevention will be better than cure. And we want you to be able to give yourself significant balance and downtime in the course of your work week so that you do not cumulatively pile on stress so that your body begins to bear the burden of it.